This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Setting the stage for competition between the Pennsylvania and the New York Central Railroads for the natural riches of Centre County and the Moshannon Valley began a half-century before the two railroads actually met head-to-head. In fact, before either company was established. In the 1830s, men of affairs in the county and the valley recognized commercial possibilities for the area's abundant reserves of timber, coal, and iron ore. They also knew that these reserves had no real value unless a practical way could be found to send them to market. The area was far from any navigable waterway. For several decades, small amounts of pig iron, smelted from local ore deposits, were transported to distant cities via pack mule and wagon, but that effort only underscored the gross inferiority of public roads and private turnpikes. A system of canals might resolve the problem of geographic isolation. Canal fever swept across Pennsylvania in the years following the completion of the Erie Canal in 1825. The commercial benefits of that waterway, which linked New York City with the West via the Great Lakes, were immediate and abundant. Canal proponents in Pennsylvania eagerly sought a waterway linking Philadelphia with the Ohio River at Pittsburgh. In 1826, they persuaded the state legislature to finance construction of two segments. One extended from Columbia on the lower Susquehanna River, 170 miles west, to Hollidaysburg. The other went east from Pittsburgh, 103 miles, to Johnstown. The highest ridges of the Allegheny Mountains separated the two canal segments. The aptly named Allegheny Portage Railroad, using a series of inclined planes to scale the rugged slopes, was intended to close the 36-mile gap. East of the Susquehanna, the Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad linked the Delaware and the Susquehanna rivers. The entire state-owned and operated route was opened in 1834 and came to be known as the Main Line of Public Works. Calls for feeder or branch canals were heard even before construction began on the main line. In the spring of 1827, dirt began to fly on the Main Line Canal's Susquehanna extension from a point near Harrisburg up the river to Northumberland, while surveyors laid out a further extension along the river's west branch to Williamsport and beyond. Business and civic leaders of Bellefonte, county seat of Centre County in the geographic center of the state, watched this activity with great interest. In 1829, a group of Bellefonte promoters commissioned one of their own, James Dunlop Harris, to make a preliminary survey for a canal linking Bellefonte with the canal being built up the West Branch, and determine how much traffic might use such a waterway. Harris had supervised construction of parts of the Main Line Canal, and was the son and grandson, respectively, of the co-founders of Bellefonte, James Harris and his father-in-law, James Dunlop. Between the state-owned system on the east end and the village of Milesburg in the Bald Eagle Valley, the young engineer recommended a 25-mile combination of canal and slackwater navigation in Bald Eagle Creek. For the 2.5 miles between Milesburg and Bellefonte, the canal would parallel Spring Creek through the gap that stream had cut in Bald Eagle Ridge. Harris estimated annual revenues of $11,500 against a projected cost of $100,000. Harris's report found a forceful public advocate in Centre County Judge Thomas Burnside. A native of Ireland, Burnside had read law in Philadelphia before moving to Centre County in 1804 to establish a practice. As a representative of central Pennsylvania in the state Senate and then Congress, he had distinguished himself as a champion of internal improvements.